No, right now you listening to the Cart, charisma, athleticism, and raw talent. And what you're really listening to is total non-stop impact. Don't you dare miss a listen. Oh yeah!
Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact, Impact Talk for Impact fans. This is Trent Solo again with you guys. We've had some scheduling problems, as you could tell. There's been some things coming up and about. Because it's been me for I think the last month almost, solo. Not that you guys mind, I don't think so. The numbers have been pretty good, so I appreciate you guys hanging with me here and, sticking this out without the scumbag. I know it's not the same without Kyle. I know it's, we've set a standard, early on, sound bites, mannerisms, weirdness with Kyle and myself. And it's not the same when he's not here, so I understand, it's just a solo guy talking about Impact, but I gotta say, you guys have shown me that I'm pretty welcome solo because our numbers are good, our play counts are good, so I think you guys like hearing just from me too, and in the absence of Kyle, in the absence of the show, or the absence of the two of us. So, guys, thanks for sticking around with me on a weekly basis. Last couple of weeks we'll be back. Things with Kyle. He's working on some stuff right now. He's got some personal stuff going on. So I dropped the kid a couple of some good wishes. Maybe make him feel good. He's going through some stuff. So I think he's keeping up with Impact, but talking and having a jovial time is the last thing on his mind right now. So, but yeah, just drop him a couple of good positive notes and let him know you love him and you want him back on the show as soon as possible. But guys, we're here. I'm here with you. It's late. You're getting this episode late because I've been traveling. I've been all over the place. I was in Austin, Texas for AAW, where I'm a producer, which features a lot of Impact talent. So I was in AAW. I was, I went from Texas to Los Angeles for some family stuff. I just got back at 5 in the Thursday. So I did watch Impact. I had a day home in between all that. We did the show in Austin and, featured a lot of Impact talent. Jake Diener / Jake something. Ace Austin was on it. The Rascals, Sammy, Jimmy Jacobs, Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander. I mean, you name it. There's a ton. That's one of the things I love about AAW is that, I get to work with all this Impact talent. And as you guys know, me being the big Impact guy that I am, that's a dream come true. So it's really cool. I pushed AAW to do some partner shows with Impact, but management doesn't feel it's the right thing at this time. So, we're not going to do that, but we get to see them all the time. So it's a cool thing. I get to always, interact and talk Impact with them, which is a fun thing. So it is neat. I'm bummed I'm missing the Philly and New York and Philly tapings this weekend. I would love to have gone, but I have a gig of my own. My band Hemi is playing a show tomorrow night. Hemi, as you know, is the opening song of this podcast. Our song "Decay" was featured at Rebellion. So I got a gig tomorrow night, so I couldn't possibly make these tapings. I would have loved to though. New York's not a bad flight to take, and Kyle's going to be there though. That's the thing. You will have the scumbag on site, so if you guys are going to be there, keep an eye out for that guy. And if you don't know what he looks like, we're going to have to find a way for you to figure him out. So look for the scummiest guy in the room. That's Kyle. But guys, yeah, I am, it's like I said, it's late. Thanks for sticking with it. If it's a good way to get caught up before the big episode on Friday that's coming up. That's going to be, I believe, the last one from Philly. So, from the last tapings, which I am front rowing. Me and my lovely lady are front row. You can take a look. Hard cam right to your left, or to your right. And you see me right there. Just long hair, beard guy. That's me. And next to the cute blonde. Keep an eye. You guys have been awesome sending me screenshots of me on camera, which I appreciate. I mean, Adam from Adam and Rose Show, he sent me one. Chris Steele sent me something, and I believe, who else? I'm trying to remember. A bunch of you guys sent me stuff that you saw me in the front row on TV. I always love that. I'm a big mark for myself, I guess, seeing myself on TV like that. But it is neat to be right up, front and center like that. It is definitely a different experience. I love that I get to be a fan at Impact shows and not work them like I do at AAW. So it's a different feeling, and definitely, guys. I never opted for front row. I was never a front row guy until I sat front row, and man, it is a different experience. Having a little coffee right now. Cheap coffee. People give me a hard time for working man's Dunkin' coffee. I'm getting a hard, but there was a big debate last week about this. But yeah, I'm having some nice working man Dunkin' Donuts coffee here. All right, guys, let's talk the May 31st, 2019 edition of Impact Wrestling. Like I said, I caught up on it quick. I didn't have too many notes. Like I said, I was there. I watched it, and I said, I'm gonna just go off of my general notes and then talk about my live response, because I was in house, so I can kind of give more of a live reaction to everything. But we'll get into that. But first, last week I asked you guys, do you want the YouTube comments at the beginning or the end? Nobody said anything. I did it at the end last week. Let's do them at the beginning. We'll get them out of the way now, and we'll jump into the episode. All right. We will stick to the beginning of the show. I like wrapping it up with that, but maybe we'll stick to the beginning. All right, we'll do a couple handfuls here, and then we'll get out the review, guys. All right, let's see here. Hakeem Fullerton's asking, with the Impact Lounge, Kyle, Trent, Rowe, Adam, BQ, and even J-Bone. J-Bone, I think you're part of the crew now here. Been on several episodes. I was even on J-Bone's episode last week, his Impact review. So you haven't checked that out, check out Smash This Podcast. I was on that, and would love to have met up with J-Bone. I'm going to meet up with J-Bone one of these days soon. He's literally an hour north of me. Not far whatsoever. So one of these days, J-Bone, we'll be getting together. But Keem's asking, would we be willing to do a number of videos on the channel talking about your favorite matches from TNA Impact Wrestling? I 100% would, man. I would love to. And let me pose this: would some of you guys like to jump in on those? Like if I made a day and I did like call-outs. We did call-outs, me and Kyle, or me and Adam and Roe, whoever. We did call-outs, and we called out, and we got a couple of you guys on there, too. Like, would you guys be down? Akeem, would you be down to do something like that? Let me know. Just quick thing, maybe a 10-minute phone call, talk about a few matches, that kind of thing. Skype. So, yeah, I'm down for that. Let's see here. What else we got? Richard Carlidge says, I noticed your girlfriend, Trent, covering your eyes. Did you by any chance say something about Scarlett Bordeaux? That's preventative maintenance is what we call it. She knew the eyes. She knew the eyes they look. The eyes have a tendency to look, but to prevent any looking in the wrong direction, she covered them because she knows that Scarlett's in the house. But I showed her your comment, Richard, and she had a great laugh about that. But yes, she was covering my eyes for sure. Let's see here. Ethan Thompson brought up a good point. He said, I saw a photo on social media comparing AEW to the modern WCW and Impact to the modern ECW. With that said, would you like to see Impact get more extreme? Yes, I saw that graphic too, and I thought I liked it. I thought it is kind of an odd, full circle coming around. Like it is falling into that way in a way, especially with even them running the ECW Arena. It's kind of going that direction in a weird way. I feel Impact is that ECW like cult following, a little more extreme, more mature storyline, more mature focus. I'm all for that, and I think Impact's infrastructure is way stronger than ECW's ever was. I'd love to see it get more extreme. I think it's pretty extreme right now, and I feel like they ride a more, like I see WWE caters to the PG. AEW caters to more of that internet crowd that they're not really catering to casuals, which is one big debate I've had with people. But I'm not going to get into that really right now. But they don't cater to casuals. They cater more to that smart mark internet, insider crowd. Impact caters to I feel like Impact caters to like more of a mature, cutting edge crowd. Like it's a cult. Impact fans are a little culty, like ECW fans are. And I want to see it get even more culty, because that creates a movement. That's what creates kind of like a shitstorm, like that, where you're like where you're kind of like a threat to anything. Not, like I said, ECW was never a threat to the big two, but they sure as hell bothered the big two. And ECW fans were like this awesome cult. And I swear, had the company had a better infrastructure, it would have still been around. Impact has that same mentality with a better infrastructure. Let's see them push that boundary. Why not? Why not? Let's see what else we got here. Megedro, we need our scum instructor ASAP, Trent. I know. Leave him a good wish, man. He'll be back soon. We'll be back. Let's see here. J-Rock Freak also spotted me on TV. He says, I did spot you on TV. I kind of popped for that. It was a solid show, but I'm hoping the ECW reunion ends soon. The occasional Tommy match is okay, but now with Rob and Sabu, it's a bit overkill. I agree 100% about the tag title match. There was no real build-up if they were set on doing it. Have it end in a DQ. I agree, man. And thanks for seeing me on TV. That tag match. Why did the North get fed so quickly to LAX? I don't want it to be where they're just it's like a warm up match or just a test the waters match. I want that one built up to Slammiversary, to be honest. It might end up being the Rascals the way that feud seems like it's building, but then even if it is, take it from the Rascals to the North. Then that's fine. We got to start blending more tag teams, around here, especially with the word. From what I understand, the rumor is the Lucha Brothers are done. I know they were advertised for these New York tapings, but I don't think they're on. I'm not sure. From what I heard, they've moved to the alumni section of the website. So usually that's your sign that they're done. But again, I didn't mind. Again, I get to see them all the time at AAW, but there was nothing left. What was left for him? I mean, Penta had the world title. They had the tag belts. If Phoenix would have gotten the X Division at some point, which I felt he should have, you're done. I mean, there was nothing else to do. Great matches, but time to go. I mean, it's territory style. Keep the ball moving. Keep flexing new talent. We'll see what happens with that. Let's see here. Lee Polton, High Impact Lounge. Good to hear from you. Another good show. ECWs are back. ECW originals are back, ready to go extreme. Yep, absolutely. I think there's one more week or so. Oh, actually, I believe the New York tapings, day one is the North taking on Sabu and RBD. So, not totally done yet. Bill Mack, my boy Bill Mack, dude. Bill, you always give me good. Always first one to hear the show. Good compliments. I appreciate that. Great video, Trent. Missing Kyle. Hurry back, Kyle. Love Sammy, but he can be nasty at times, whether it's eating feet or someone else's spit. I agree OVE and hope that they are back in the tag title contention soon. So love Michael Elgin as he just plays a badass heel role, and you just believe he's gonna put someone in the hospital. Madison Rain should be more of a transitioning talent more than being in competition for the Knockouts title. Sorry, I'm reading weird today, guys. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with all of it. The Elgin thing is quick too. But they're working really hard to build them fast. I imagine these New York tapings, basically the June shows are going to be like very Elgin heavy is what I'm predicting. So keep an eye for that. I think they're going to really, really get Elgin credible, even more so for the title shot coming at Slammiversary. So we'll see. Doctrine of Mayhem, Rosemary looks better than ever in my opinion. Now that's a demon that could take my soul and everything else. Let her know, man. Let her know. I'm sure she'll take the soul for sure. Whoopsie with Dunkin' Coffee till I die. What's up, Whoopsie? Absolutely. Some guy says, nice solo review, Trent. I like Kyle, but you do a pretty good job by yourself. I also got to give props for the person that's writing the description in the YouTube videos. It's a thankless job. That's me. I'm the one writing all that. So thank you. Thank you very much. It is a thankless job. I appreciate someone recognizing those descriptions. I try to. It is not easy to come up with that sometimes. He says, now I do not agree with you about the amount of backstage segments. I prefer it this way. What I said, guys, as reference was there was a big block of segments and no in-ring anything last week. Just a ton of segments in a row. So I called that out. He said, long matches and a bunch of short. I prefer it this way. Long matches and a bunch of short segments. It gets the audience familiar with the wrestlers and their characters. It also makes the locker room feel a lot bigger than it actually is. Look at the knockouts. They've managed to keep them fresh even though there are not that many. There should be some live segments for the crowd, but for me, backstage stuff is more entertaining. I agree with that. I would like a little more live, like cut some of those promos in the ring too. That's all. But yeah, I see what you're saying though, man. It's nothing wrong with that. It was just break them up a little bit. That's all. It was just too many in a row. That was my thing. On a side note, the reason Desmond won was because he smoked some of that green spinach. There's no one in the world who could have stopped him after that. True. He is on this. That's like spinach. That's like, he's Popeye, man. King Nerd, I like peppermint tea as well. What kind of sweetener did you use again? Monk fruit sweetener. It's awesome. It's very underrated. All right, let's do a couple more. We'll get on with this review here. Let's see. Luke Avery says, my thoughts on the matter are that I think of different wrestling companies like climbing Mount Everest. WWE is the top of Mount Everest. Impact was near the top at one time but got knocked back down to the bottom. ROH is stuck at the bottom. New Japan is slowly climbing but not going anywhere fast. And AEW is taking a rocket ship straight to the top of Mount Everest. I'd like to know why you think they're at the top after one show. Because here's the weird thing to me. They did one show, and they're not going to have another pay-per-view, I guess, or live show in June. But the TV show doesn't start till October. It was weird to me that some of their talent was on Indies the next day after Double or Nothing. So I'm like, you're on Indies the next day. It's kind of weird to see that. It's kind of weird to see that you guys are doing Indies, and it kind of, you got this huge peak, and then it's quiet for a little bit until the next show. So I'm not sure. I'd like to know what you mean. Why do you think they're a rocket ship? Let's see here. J Rock with one more question here. So I have a question for everyone. Do you guys feel Impact has a problem building stories around the titles? Sometimes they do. The Brian Cage one was phenomenal. The Michael Elgin one seems a little rushed. Depends what it is. The Johnny and Rich Swann has a month to build up a little more, even though they planted the seed about 2 months ago. The tag title one is being built up just fine, and the knockouts one is being built up just fine. It all depends. They've had ups and downs with certain ones. I think they rush certain things, but the Cage one, I think in recent history, the Cage one is probably one of the most best built title stories they've ever done in history. So we'll see. Let's see here. Carter Inc. says, for all the hype and buzz AEW is getting right now, Impact has been producing consistently good TVs and pay-per-view for the past year. It deserves far more praise and acknowledgement than it's currently getting from its wider fan base. A couple of continued production tweaks and enhancements is all that's really missing from the weekly presentation right now. I'd rather see guys like North and the Cross go over the old ECW guys, though. Hopefully we'll start to regain some of the acclaim and appreciation it had in years gone by. Current product deserves it. I 100% agree. It's mostly the small internet bias, the internet percentage, which has decreased a lot. There's still some haters who just hate because they think it's funny, but there's a lot of people who aren't going to give Impact a chance again, which is odd because it really features a lot of the same talent from everywhere and presented very well. And I think they're doing a great job. For the last year, it's been the most consistent TV show on TV. No question about it. No question. It's going to take just what they're doing with pumping product out, pumping content out for everybody to see. Look, the proof to me is in the pudding. Their YouTube numbers are fantastic. I mean, they added 110,000 subscribers in May alone, which is no easy feat. Their sub counts go up, their play counts go up. I mean, just the other day, Jordan Grace and I forgot the girl she fought, but 3 million views on a YouTube video of a knockouts match. I mean, their numbers are what they're showing. What to me, the time slot's odd. Friday night, 9 o'clock is a tough time slot for anybody in the demographic to get to. Pursuit Channel, forget it. I don't know anybody who has it. So while Twitch is accessible, it's like people are out, especially in the summertime. Once this new rumored TV deal kicks in, I imagine a lot of good stuff coming our way when it comes to like turning around viewership numbers for sure. All right, let's do a few more here. Let me try to get a couple new folks here. Sam Stryker, I'm sorry, but let's just address the elephant in the room. Tessa is too damn good for a pointless rivalry with a WCW jobber, in my opinion. And I would like the Impact title on Tessa. You want the world talking about Impact Wrestling? There you go. And P.S. I also enjoy Dunkin' Donuts as well. That's right, Sam. Working man's coffee. It's what I call it. I think, what? Sometimes I think feuds like this, Sam, are done to just brush up the acting chops of some of these wrestlers. Like, people were questioning, like Jake Diener is in this storyline with Cody Diener, and it's the redneck thing, right? But in AAW where I work, he's presented as a monster killer, completely different. But if you look at it, I've never got to see Jake's acting side until I saw the Diener story. These things are cool. Like, you put people in characters like this or storylines like this to bring out their skill a little bit more and incorporate that for TV and whatnot. So I think it's the thing with Tessa. It's like, you can't have her always in the title picture. You gotta make it feel special. She had a nice run. We're gonna get her in this storyline, and she'll just build right back up. I mean, obviously, it's getting to her and that Knockouts belt eventually, and it could happen at Bound for Glory, which is where it really means something more. Same to how they did with Gail. She didn't always have it, but every time she won it, it felt very, very special, which is what you want to do with that Knockouts title, especially when you don't have too many knockouts. And the good thing is, in between, then you can get that belt onto other knockouts too, and build some nice stories. So we'll see what happens. Colby Cooper, Trent and Kyle, do you watch OVW? If so, which stars do you think will have the most success and impact? I'm a huge fan of Justin Smooth and Tommy Gunn myself, and the King's Ransom have a really cool look. I don't watch it, but I want to. I really want to. Them being a partner with Impact, I'd love to watch them and get out there one day for a show. I heard they do some fun shows, so I'd like to check it out. Let's see what else we got here. All right, we're going to wrap it up. Let's see. I'll do two of them. Chris Steele show. Guys, I'm about to turn heel. I think the X Division is doing pretty good, but I feel like they don't know if they want the X Division Championship to be a mid-card title or just a cruiserweight title. So I think Impact should repackage the X Division as the open weight division and still bring back the TV title and call it the ITV Championship. Interesting theory, Chris. They've always struggled with if the X Division title is a mid or a cruiserweight. In recent years, I felt like they've treated it more like a mid, but the thing is, the perception is always going to be that it's a cruiserweight title, even if Brian Cage held it and whatnot. So I'd like the TV title to come back. It'd be really cool to have that back. The X, I think rebranding it would be off because it's such a synonymous title with Impact Wrestling. I'd like to leave it as the X Division title, but definitely establish what is it. Is it your cruiserweight belt? Is it your mid card? Maybe bump that up to your mid card and make your TV belt your working one. So you can do that too. So let's see, Steve, meanwhile, we're going to close it out with your comment here. Hey, Kyle and Trent, on this week's episode of the Wrestling Perspective podcast, Dennis Farrell and Petey Williams. Dennis Farrell, who hates us, by the way. I think Dennis Farrell hates us. I don't know if anybody saw the exchange, but I put a post out saying, "Hey, Impact, make Total Nonstop Impact your Twitch in between. We'll host the Twitch in between, the best Impact Wrestling podcast in the world. We'll host your Twitch in between. We'll be those folks." And Dennis Farrell says, "I don't think so. Me and Petey are way better than you guys," or something like that. And then I responded, and then Kyle and I both responded to him and said, "Hey, no hard feelings. We're just trying to have some fun. You guys are great too, but from what I've seen, I know Petey and Dennis talk Impact, but Dennis talks other companies too." And I said, "Hey, we're true Impact. That's all. That's all I'm saying." He never responded. I think Dennis Farrell really hates us. I think he's looking at this. There's a little competitive, there's a little professional rivalry going on here, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think? I know we can never. The advantage he has is, he's got Petey Williams. He's got one of the agents. He's got a former X Division legend as one of the hosts. I can't compete with that. But I got me, and I got some cool sound bites from Impact Town to tell you to listen to the show, and I know they listen to the show, so that's something, right? We'll go off of that. But anyway, he's saying they were answering fan questions and wanted your opinion on it. The question was, with AEW and WWE, why people want to stay in Impact Wrestling because they have nothing to offer. And Dennis responded with, Impact is the number 3 promotion besides ROH, 3A, and 3B. Sure, the money is low. No one is arguing that. The talent is working one weekend and some Twitch specials plus Impact Plus specials. Petey Williams said that they are a business of making stars. For example, Killer Cross, The North, Jordan Grace. But fans would argue they have indie followings, but they are main players in our company. Dennis said one thing he notices about Impact Wrestling fans is that they care not. I'm trying to keep this all together here. They care not saying that management cares, but they are making stars, and stars become expensive, so they have to let them go. Almost like, for example, the Pittsburgh Pirates or Houston Astros, where they have young talents, they bring them up and then turn them into stars, but they leave for bigger contracts like the New York Yankees. And they're okay with it because they can get younger talent to come in, and Impact fans do not see that or understand that, and people get mad at management for letting them go. I love this question. I hope you can read it on your next podcast. Thanks. Okay, sorry. It was a little wordy. I was trying to kind of summarize a little bit. Basically, I think the message there is, like, people dog Impact for not holding on to talent and saying, oh, you guys, like the whole Killer Cross thing that came up, right? I look at it like this. You need players who want to be players on your team and who want to grow with your team. I know it's an odd competitive industry, and especially this time where it's easy to get a following sometimes via Twitter and Instagram, whatever. People have big followings quick. But and then they think, well, if I got this following, I can take this following for more money at a bigger company, which is your right to do, no question about it. Athletes do it. I mean, the LeBron thing, it comes to mind. But in terms of wrestling, recently this Killer Cross controversy, which he shot down, I think he recently talked about it, but Jordan Grace is a good example. Her thought was, I want to grow with Impact. That's my idea. She's young. She's 23, 24 years old. She wants to grow with Impact Wrestling. So she's taken the opportunity, whatever. I mean, I don't know the details of her contract or anything, but her mindset is, hey, I want to make money with Impact, and I want to be a key player here. So you need people like that who want to be a key player and grow with the company and not just leave at the first sight of more money. So, I mean, look, it's everybody's right to do that, but you do see it. Impact does build stars. People do get that rub from Impact. I mean, Killer Cross was virtually unknown until Impact Wrestling. And yeah, he puts his work in, no question about it. But that platform, even the number 3 spot, if you want to call it, still propels people to another level. And that's huge. That is huge. It does have power. And that's what we can't deny. So we have to take that into consideration, guys. I mean, Impact's platform has power. It does build stars. So we'll see what happens, guys. But anyway, thanks for all those great comments. Again, that was a solo pod I did, and I appreciate all the feedback, guys. Great stuff. So thank you for that. Let's leave your comments on this show, too. So let's respond to some of those new stuff. But let's jump in. May 31st, 2019 edition of Impact Wrestling. This was cool, guys. It started off with the ECW Originals. Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, RVD, with Super Genie taking on the North and Moose. So Ethan Page, Josh Alexander, and Moose. This was, for me, now look, watch me in the front row. I'm marking out. This was, look, if you grew up, I'm 37. If you grew up anywhere in my generation and you grew up on these guys, RVD, Sabu, and Tommy Dreamer in that arena, it's my first time in that arena. I never thought I'd get to see these guys wrestle in the ECW Arena. So that was a trip. Got to see it. It was fantastic to see. And especially against guys who are our friends, you know, like Josh, Moose, and Ethan. These guys are cool. Like, I know these guys, you know, and it was a trip. It was fun to see, you know, and I talked to Josh about it even. It was like really cool to experience that live, and it had a great, amazing energy to it. I was very impressed with Sabu. I mean, God, as beat up as he is, he busted it out for this match. These guys are older. Absolutely, they're older. Do I agree with the finish? No, I don't. I'm sure it's leading to something. That's why I don't complain about it. I just would love to have seen the young guys really take that spot. But you got something coming up, so let's see what happens. I know, look, Impact's got smart people back there. You have to, you know that they're doing what they feel is right for the story long term. So we'll see where it goes. But I would love, like I said, I would love to have seen the young guys stand tall. But look, it was the ECW Arena. I mean, it's almost like it's fairy tale ending. You can't have the heroes losing their own home, in a way, right? But it was an exciting match. Sabu did phenomenal. They all did phenomenal. Great energy. This one went a while, too, but ended with Arabian Facebuster, Sabu to Ethan Page, and the RVD followed with a 5-star frog splash, and that was it, man. So that was a great match. What do you guys think? I want to get your opinion on this. What do you guys think of that finish and of seeing these ECW originals taking on some of the Impact guys? I mean, again, going back to one of the comments, Impact being the new ECW in a way, that rebellious spirit, it's in a way it's passing the torch, isn't it? In a way, I mean, like I said, they'd have to lose, but the ECW guys just give them the rub, and I'm sure as fans as those guys are, the young guys, the Impact guys. It's probably cool for them to say they had that match too. So I'm curious to see where it goes. Tell me what you guys thought about it. I think it's fun. We got an update from Brian Cage. He hasn't been cleared yet, he was saying, but he's planning on defending the world title against Michael Elgin. That's the anniversary. So that match is official, whether he's cleared or not. I heard he posted something on Twitter that's not looking good. So I don't know if it took a turn or what happened to his diagnosis, but it's not looking too good right now from what he said. I don't know anything more than that though. I gotta maybe tap in some resources to find out what he meant by that. But we'll see what's up. We go from that, guys, to Tessa and Glenn Gilberti. This live, let me tell you this, this had so much heat. It was unreal. People were out of their minds with heat against Disco. The fact that he at 57, 58 years old, he's still drawing this kind of heat is fantastic. I think it's fantastic. And it's unreal. Like, he had so much heat, but basically before the match, he ran her down. He ran Tessa down big time, sarcastic praising. He crossed the line by saying something about how she has daddy issues, but tonight I'll be your daddy or something. Like, it was nuts. She punches him, knockout shot, takes him out. She wins. Tessa beats Glenn quick. But it was hilarious. Just the heat that Disco knows how to get in 2019 is fantastic. I mean, talent's talent. You can't stop it. I love Disco Inferno. I haven't heard too many complaints. I've heard some. I've heard some people complaining about why is he in the match, why is he there. But if you guys know, it's working. Like, it gets heat. So what do you guys think about that one? Give me some feedback on that. But that was a fun one for sure. We go from that, guys. The Rascals are at the clubhouse, and they challenge LAX for the tag team championships next week in LAX's clubhouse. And it's a hilarious. Anything backstage with the Rascals is gold, 100% gold immediately. LAX also great. They added some more comedy to the LAX side in recent months, but always good stuff. That's the kind of stuff. It's cinematic to me. I love that. The way it's shot, especially the Rascal stuff. It's just so cinematic. It's comedic. It's like sketch comedy. I love it. I tweeted out, I said I'd love to see a whole playlist dedicated to Rascals backstage segments, because that would be great. Just throw that on. I mean, it'd be fun to just watch, the smoke room and all that stuff. We go from that, guys. Desi Hit Squad, Rohit Raju and Raj Singh with Gamma taking on the Deaners. Cody and Jake. This was a fun match. These guys have a lot of natural chemistry with each other. I think you have a great character match in Rohit and Jake. You have a great energetic match, energetic play with Cody in there. Cody's great at pacing. I can tell he's a real veteran. He really knows how to pace a match. You watch Cody Deaner, he's so underrated for his talent. He really knows how to pace a match. The guy is a ring general in there, which I like. And then you got Raj with a great base. He's a good base to take bumps, to be a transition between moves and spots. Raj is very underrated for that aspect as well. The guy really knows. He's getting better and better. He's so young in the business, and he's getting so much better with timing. And week to week, he just really improves more and more as being a solid. You need that kind of base in the middle to know how to be the guy to help transition moves and sequences and flows of the match. And then you got your charmer, you got your Rohit in there, who's basically the heat magnet, right? Like, he knows how to draw all that heat. And then Jake comes in like Superman, which is awesome, and gets a lot of that Superman pop. So those two are great yin-yang to each other, especially. So this feud is already off to a really, really good start. But it was a fun match, man. A lot of action. I mean, these guys really pull it all out. And you can just tell that these guys wanted to put on the best match given this opportunity. So I think it was fun. The Deaners took the win on this one on the Hit Squad. Cody rolled up Raj from behind. But this isn't over. I want to see more of this. It was just a fun feud. Get some solo matches in there, more tags, stipulation tags. Keep doing it, Keep doing it. Really build this feud up, because I'd like to see more of this one for sure. What else we got here? Eddie Edwards taking on Killer Cross, street fight. This was Cross had he killed Kenny a couple weeks back. He snapped Kenny in half. He destroyed Eddie Edwards. He's been beside himself. Cross came out with this new flak jacket, basically a street fight ready, but this thing looked sinister. He looked sinister. Eddie came in just looking to brawl. It was nuts. Remember, no disqualifications, no DQs. This one was just insane. So they brawled pretty heavily. Live was a lot of fun. I got some cool pictures of this one. I'll tweet them out. I should have tweeted them out last week, but I was out of town in Austin during the AEW show, which was, side note, actually, let me get to that after this match here. But intense match, man. Intense. I mean, this was fun. I love a lot of power moves and hardcore moves. These guys, again, this goes back to that ECW thing. These guys are taking it another spot, which I like. But the end came where Cross hit the Doomsday Saito Slam, but he didn't finish Eddie off. He put on a pair of lead-lined gloves. But then Sandman comes out. The Sandman. So we've had RVD, Sabu, Tommy Dreamer, and now the Sandman on this show. He comes out and attacks Cross with a kendo stick. Eddie hits him with a Boston Knee Party, takes the win. At the end of it, after it was over, the Sandman and Eddie have a face-off, and Sandman gifts him one of his kendo sticks. Basically, it's literally a torch pass to Eddie. So I thought that was cool. Now, let me tell you guys something insider here. Live, what they didn't show on TV, after they did the pose-up that they went off commercial with, Eddie gets on the mic and he says, "I've always wanted to do this." He goes, "Music guy, hit it." And they played Enter Sandman. And they cheered in the crowd. They're pouring beer on everybody. It was a freaking party. So they actually did the Enter Sandman walk through the crowd thing. So one thing that didn't get reported, on these guys are too busy reporting false numbers. They should have reported fun stuff like that. That was fun. But that was really cool, man. A good moment. Gosh, I was going to say about the when this was airing last week and I was in Austin. What was really cool, and I think Colby Cooper, one of our really regular listeners and go-to news guy for Impact News, which I get a lot of news from, he was in this chat too. A lot of Impact fans were watching the AAW Twitch stream. We actually streamed live from Austin on Twitch. Last minute, we streamed live. Again, featured a lot of Impact talent. We noticed a lot of Impact fans were chilling, watching AAW until Impact started, which I thought was kind of cool. You guys hung out with us for a bit and then, went over to Impact and then switched back and forth. I thought that was pretty neat, which was a lot of fun. I was super happy to see you. I wasn't moderating the Twitch chat, but my producer up here, Brian, whose cousin Brian's been on the Total Nonstop Impact before, he was moderating the AAW Twitch from Chicago, and just keeping an eye. And I popped in just for a second, and he told me as well. He's like, yeah, a bunch of Impact fans are in here and stuff too. So it was cool, man. And if it was you guys, thank you. Anybody listening to this, thank you guys for jumping into that and giving us a great night at AAW, supporting your Impact talent there, because we're big proponents of that. But pre-gaming with us, I'm I could totally get down with that. If you guys are down to do something like that, I'd love to do more of that in the future, where we kind of be a lead-in on a Friday night. If we ever have a Friday night show, we could just lead in to Impact. We can be a pre-game. We did cross over a little bit. I think our numbers fluctuated during that hour. What was our last hour and then Impact's first hour? But why not? Let's make a party out of it, So, but no, thanks for doing it. I thought that was cool, guys. So that was a highlight of my Friday night. Even though I wasn't watching Impact Live, I was definitely enjoying knowing that you guys were watching both of us. But all right, guys, we go from that. Rosemary attacks James Mitchell, and after he blames her for Allie's death, which is interesting. I mean, this feud is not over, and I don't want it to be over. I want Jim Mitchell on TV at all times. There's no reason at all that Jim Mitchell should not be working on TV in professional wrestling ever. I remember Vince Russo interviewed him years back when he was kind of just disappeared. And he's like, well, how are you not on TV? He's like, nobody's calling me. Nobody called. So when Impact did, last couple of years, it was great. I mean, this guy's a great talent. If you guys have not heard his speech at Abyss's Hall of Fame, I'll never forget it. I was there live. You guys need to hear that speech. It is one of the greatest things I've ever heard. It was fantastic. But I remember we ran into him outside of the venue, and he was like telling us about it, and he was like, looked nervous. I go, what do you look so nervous about? And he's like, oh, well, they gave me only 15 minutes to talk. And I said, oh, easy. You can do 15. You could talk forever. He goes, I practiced my speech last night for my wife, and she said it was great. I said, perfect. Did you come in at 15 minutes? He's like, I came in at 45. And I was like, oh, shit. And so he was like nervous. I was going to condense it in, but he did it. They let him run with the whole thing. So if you need to go watch that speech, it was great. But so basically, you're going to have this back and forth. I would love if AEW would loan Allie just for like a little snippet, just like a shadow segment, or if they use stock footage even, I don't care. Use a little stock footage, tease it, tease something where like Allie's still there, the whispers of the soul or something. It'd be cool. I mean, look, they don't have the TV show until October. Let me loan her out a little bit. It could be fun. Snip. I mean, it could be just, doesn't have to be in ring or in the arena. Just backstage stuff. Work together, right? They want to work with everybody. This could be a cool way to do it. All right. We got to the OVE cam. It's looking really cool because now they got their monster. The OVE cam's cool. I was always a big fan of the OVE cam. But Sami Callihan reveals that Jake and Dave are going to take on Fala and Scarlett in a tag team match next week. So we'll see how that goes. That's a feed off of the week prior where they came out and interfered. So we'll see where that goes. Scarlett in intergender action. It's getting hot, the intergender stuff. People like it. Some people like it, some people don't. Eli Drake didn't, and he is gone. And he officially announced the departure this week. So, in a very classy way, mind you. He announced it in an extremely classy way. So, good for him. X Division champion Rich Swann and Willie Mack then took on Johnny and Impact, but Johnny Bravo and Michael Elgin. This was the main event here. This was big stuff. This was a match where, again, on paper, you're like, okay, seems pretty standard. Like, hey, it's the guys, it's Rich and Willie who've been teaming for a while. Johnny and Mike who have been teasing like, yeah, they're not really friends, whatever. Nah, I don't. Standard might not be the right word, but you don't know what to expect. You kind of feel it's just like going to be a regular, solid match. This was one of the most fun, ridiculous matches you can ever watch. Because look what you got here. You got a powerhouse like Michael Elgin. You got an agile powerhouse like Willie Mack. You got a high flyer like Rich Swann. You have a diverse high flyer who even goes in the heavyweight route like Johnny Impact. You got a lot going on in this match. Ton going on in this match. And what a bunch of fun. I mean, this was great. Like this is where I say I can't believe some fans would rather not watch this program sometimes. It blows my mind. This match was... You're not seeing anything like this on any other show. Bottom line. There's nothing like this match exemplified on any other TV show, a pro wrestling TV show on TV today. It was so balls out, in-your-face action. For lack of a better term, it was total nonstop action. From start to finish. And it was great. I mean, that's the thing. What a great match. Now, I want to pose a few things here. Now, we have a couple of things coming out of it. Willie's kind of the odd man out. You have Rich taking on Elgin. I'm sorry, Rich taking on Johnny, and the X Division title on the line at Slamversary. And then you have Elgin, who's going to take on Cage. The only reason I think maybe Willie's in this is, I know Willie's got the affiliation with Rich, but I'm sure they would have found a way to put Brian Cage in this if they could have. But you got Elgin taking on Cage. So Willie right now doesn't have a singles feud that he's working on. So I don't know where that can go. But again, Cage, Johnny and Rich, totally see it. It's going to be a great match. That I know already. Win or lose on either side, it's going to be a fun match. I'd like to see more story built into it, though. I mean, Johnny just won the shot, but we need to build the story. Now they have an opponent in mind. Each one has an opponent targeted. Let's see them build towards this match with some heat. Mike is going to be hard because Cage is not in house. Mike's going to be a hard one to build. Do you tie up Mike with Willie in the meantime? Willie can go. Willie's thick. Mike's thick. You can get some good hoss action on these two. Do you tie up Mike in the meantime with Willie for maybe a week or two until Cage is back? So let's see. I mean, Cage, I imagine he's got to be at those New York tapings, at least in a speaking role, just to hype the match coming up. We got to see where it goes. I would love to. I would love to have some in-ring showdown with those two prior to a pay-per-view, if we're going to do this pay-per-view right. So let's see what happens with that. But I'd like to see, what would you guys like? Would you be okay with Mike tied up with Willie for a few weeks? Would you like to see Mike do something else? Who should Willie go on to? Where should we take this right at this point? So we'll see. We'll see what they decide. Again, I trust Impact because it did seem rushed, but I feel like they have a good month to build this up now, and really solid. So I want to see where we go with it. But that was it, guys. That's to me, I think that was a very solid show. I might be a little biased. I was in house. It was a lot of fun. And guys, keep sending your screen grabs of me backstage, or not backstage, on screen. You see me on screen? Screenshot it. Send it to me. I'm popping from this. Send it over to me at Vanilla Joke on Twitter, or We Talk Impact on Twitter, or both. I love it. I'm super happy about that. My girlfriend loves it too. You guys made her happy that you noticed her in there. But the total blast to be there. I think we have one more. It's going to air on 6/7. That's going to be the last one from Philly, as they're going to be taping in New York. So we'll see how everything comes out. No spoilers for anything. Nobody wants any spoilers. I hate spoilers, so let's not do that. But guys, that's it. A quick one again. Solo. I apologize. It's solo, but thank you for sticking with me. The numbers are showing me that you guys like hanging with me solo. I appreciate that very, very much. I promise we're gonna get Kyle back on here. We'll do a 2-man thing, or I'll get somebody else who wants to jump on if Kyle can't do it. The timing's just been hard to even get somebody else because, like I said, I've been traveling and stuff. So, but guys, that's gonna do it, man. Let me tell you where you can find us, to connect with us, and everything. So you can find this podcast wherever podcasts are found: Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Spotify. Rate, review, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell a coworker, tell somebody. But get in there. Thanks for the recent ratings on there, by the way, guys. We notice our numbers going up and up and up on iTunes. If you have iTunes, seriously, take a second. Just go in there and hit a 5-star rating. Please. It takes 2 seconds. But that has really been helping us get noticed more and more and more and more. So check us out. You can also find us on the Impact Lounge official YouTube channel. If you're listening on the YouTube channel, that you're already here. If not, type in the Impact Lounge on YouTube, or Total Nonstop Impact on YouTube. Subscribe to both. The playlist of this show is on both channels, the main one being the Impact Lounge. So connect with that. You can also connect with us on social media at We Talk Impact on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just type in We Talk Impact, all one word, comes right up. The Total Nonstop Impact podcast comes right up. Connect with me personally at Vanilla Joke on Twitter and Instagram. That's Vanilla Joke, all one word. Or Kyle, which is KL_TNI on Twitter. Connect with us. Drop us some lines, your messages, whatever it may be. Feedback, photos, whatever. We love hearing from you guys. You guys are great, man. It really makes doing this worthwhile, all the great feedback you guys give us. So thank you very much for helping us become one of the most successful and continued and consistent Impact Wrestling related podcasts in the world. I'm gonna put it out there in the world today. I just want to get more and more. I really want Impact to take notice. I know they're listening. I'm gonna keep saying I know they're listening because certain things just add up to them listening. I want to keep getting on their radar. So please tag us, tag Impact. Let them know what we're doing over here. I want them to see what we're doing. I'm trying to get on their radar even more to let them know that we are a great friend to the company, and we're consistent every week talking about this company. We're interacting with you guys. We're putting it out there, and we're doing work on behalf of the company in that regard. So let them know, man. If you guys like what we do, let Impact know what you like what we do. Tag Ed Nordholm, tag Len Asper, tag anybody on the Impact side. Let them know, like, hey, check these guys out. They're doing a lot of consistent work for the company because they love the company, and I think we do a pretty good job. Even me solo, I think I do a pretty good job. But cool, man. I think that's going to do it. Last minute, I know, guys. Let's get those play counts up, though. Let's share this episode. We're going to get this up. I'm telling you, the last couple of weeks, you guys have really shown me that no matter when we get the show up or if it's solo or whatever, you guys want to hear Total Nonstop Impact talk about Impact Wrestling. So I am super grateful for that. So now, one more question before I leave. Do you guys want us to have merch? Kyle and I are talking about having some merchandise. And we got some merch ideas. Pro Wrestling Tees has an option we can go with. A couple other ones have options. Do you want to see merchandise from Total Nonstop Impact? If so, would you buy it? I mean, possibilities are endless. Team Scumbag shirts. I mean, come on. We got so many insider terms, on the via the sound bites. Come on, we can do a great thing. That said, anybody a good shirt designer out there too? I'd like to come up with some new stuff too. So if you're a cool designer, get with us. We'd like to talk to you about some stuff. Definitely will be taken care of if you want to jump on board and help us with design. So great, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Connect online, connect on social medias, connect on all these streaming sites. We want to keep building our community here, guys. So thank you very much. There's going to be a new interview that Adam did with Johnny Impact coming up on the Impact Lounge channel. That'll be up in the next few days. Keep your eyes peeled for that as well. So that's going to do it, guys. Thank you very much for joining me on the Impact Lounge, Total Nonstop Impact, and we will see you after the June 7th episode of Impact Wrestling. See you later.